guys, welcome back to my show. I have not been doing many episodes for quite a while now. I came back, took a 2 week break again, but nonetheless, I'm back. And this time, I have an amazing guest, as per usual. Her name is Alexi, and she is an amazing Olympian, and she was in the 2016 Greece Olympics, and she's also an actress and a movie director. Hi, Alexi, how are you today?
I'm doing great. I'm so excited to be talking to someone who grew up close to where I grew up and who is also interested in some of the things I'm interested in, including books.
That's awesome. Yeah, I mean, I'm super excited to talk to you about all things Olympics, acting, and all things relating to that. Could you please maybe introduce yourself and give us a gist of who you are?
Yes, so my name is Alexi, and I am an Olympian in the 10,000 meters, and that's the longest event on the track. And I am Greek American. I grew up in the Bay Area, and I'm also a writer of 2 books now, a filmmaker, and many other random things.
Yeah, that's really cool. I mean, like, if you're an actor and into writing, it's like a good combination because screenwriting, there's a lot of things that you can explore from that arena.
Yeah, and I caught myself even saying the word random because I was like, to me, none of this feels random, but that's because I'm at the center of it, right? Like I'm the one that's doing them all. And I think I became aware of the different ways that people see you versus how you see yourself, right? Like,
so
yeah.
How do you manage your time between home stuff, like your own personal life, plus your writing endeavors and your Olympic stuff?
That's a really good question. So there's always a North Star. There's always a thing that is the number one priority, generally speaking, in my life. So for a while, it was the Olympics, right? Or for a while, it was other things, before the Olympics. And then it became the Olympics. And everything I did fell under the category of priorities where that was number one. And so sleep was super important, for example. And it was almost like, I imagine a tree, like a pine tree or a Christmas tree, like a triangular tree where the Olympics is at the top and everything I'm doing needs to fall under that canopy. And that doesn't mean I didn't have fun, and it doesn't mean I didn't take breaks, but it meant that it generally was leading me towards that North Star. And now, the North Star can shift, and it could shift frequently, it could shift infrequently. But my life now, the North Star is different, right? And so I think that was the first thing I wanted to say, is just that I always know what the most important thing in my life is, and the other things, the artistic things, were fitting in between the cracks of the athletics for a while. And now more of both. And you asked about balance, and that is really, it's a challenge for me, and I rely strongly on a calendar. It sounds so silly or simple, but I really do lean on like a basic Google calendar for things. And I also try to know every day when I'm able to shut off and be done with work, which sometimes is a lot later than others. So it's about, I guess, just staying organized and then being kind to myself when I can't do it all in one day and say that was good enough for today,
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's just about self-care, making sure you don't overwork yourself and that you're giving yourself the time you need for yourself and not like for work. I feel like, and like calendars and stuff, like Google calendars are the best tool ever, especially for students as well. Any students listening to this episode right now would recommend using calendar or any kind of calendar. Like if you use a Yahoo calendar, that's good too. Just any sort of calendar is good because it gives you like a way of figuring out what you're doing. Or if you don't want that and you want something more like in person, like something you can hold and do stuff, then get a diary. And then most diaries do have a few pages of calendars. You can use that. Or you can go to Amazon and thrift stores and they have like these wall calendars that you can get, and you can write on those. So that'd be great too.
Are
Um,
you someone, do you like checking the boxes on your calendar? Are you like a tactile? Do you like to touch the like write on a calendar, or are you more of an online calendar person?
for me, I have actually in my room I have one like a touch one, and then I
Mm-hmm.
also have an online one calendar. So basically, kind of use both. So like I kind of like put it in my online and then transfer it onto my desk calendar just so that I have it near me. And if I do not have access to the computer for some reason or anything like that, I can just look at it.
Oh, that's good. That's great.
Yeah. My next question for you is, you have like creative projects like like I said earlier, like your acting and screenwriting, all of that. So what inspired you to do that alongside your love?
Well, for me, the creative work was always, writing was always my strong academic interest, and I like I liked school growing up. I liked writing. I liked performing. And I always saw running as a performance, just like the like acting performances, because when I think about it, you're trying your best, you're wearing some kind of costume, you're doing something sometimes live, like that you can't really, in film, I guess you're editing things later, but in theater, you're just up there and you're doing it, and you might mess up. So there's about both of them. They also balance each other out, right? Like in running, there's something awesome about if you put in time, you're going to get better. And also it's simple, just keep moving, unless you're injured, of course. So I enjoyed going from one to the other, and I feel like I am part both of those things.
Yeah, I think it's good to have like a bunch of things that you're good at, or at least like you want to like pursue. Partly because like it creates like a dynamic in your life that you can use. Like for example, like if writing is not working out, you have a second thing that you're good at, and you know that you will be able to do. And then you can always like keep like manifesting or creating new things that you can do, and think about like various activities like apart from those two things. For example, like let's say you don't know how to play the piano, but you tried and you actually like it, then that could be a new thing. If the other two things does not work out for me as well, I just kind of like try a bunch of things and see whatever sticks, and the ones which don't, I just either leave it or maybe try building more of one.
So what you're saying is you like trying different things because you don't know what your future is, right? And you want to open yourself up to different possibilities. Is that
Yeah,
kind of what you're...
basically, because like you may have something set for, like for me, I want to become like a singer-songwriter, and like like you kind of already are a singer-songwriter if you're singing and songwriting, but to take it to a professional level, it's kind of tough because the media industry is super like competitive. You need to do a lot of things to get in. So I think it's like it's safe as well to like try different things, see what you like. Maybe you might like something, might like something more than the other thing, and then you might just like your whole career path could change.
Right. And it also is, what I'm hearing from you is you're kind of accepting that not only are you maybe out of control of some of your future because you don't know what you'll be able to do, you're saying the world is a challenging place, which it is, but also you might grow into someone who finds something that you didn't even know existed just by trying other things. And I feel like there's two approaches to like what you pursue in life. There are the things you think you want, or the things you want, and that's kind of like the things you write on your chalkboard or your whiteboard or your journal. And then there's the opportunities that the universe or the world brings to you. So somebody calls you one day and says, hey, do you want to go skateboarding with me, or something like that? And you would have never maybe thought about it for yourself. But if somebody gives you that opportunity to have space in your life to try things that the world brings to you, I think is such a beautiful thing as well. And to have both, right?
Absolutely, because like just knowing that the things out there that you may not know, like there's knitting, there's singing, dancing, playing the piano. There's like a lot of things that you obviously no one's telling us or telling you to do like every single something that's not impossible, but like, it's not like something you might want to do. But like, trying a few things, maybe like you could set goals and be like, this month I want to focus on this new thing. This month I want to focus on that. So that way you're kind of setting aside time for each thing instead of like clumping and like over, like, putting a bit too many things on your head.
Yes. And knowing, that what's interesting about what you're saying is you're like, we're kind of talking about evolution, right? Of like who you are, what you're doing, evolving in one specific craft, like you said, and setting aside time and priorities for it. But that, that change is also really, it's really painful and hard, right? Like it's hard to grow. And I think that's something I've been interested in because it's so easy to be told, chase your dreams and like, glamorize it in a way where it ignores the very real reality, and not the bad reality, but that it's hard and it's a beautiful, painful process. And I just wanted to acknowledge it because I think to say that it's all easy is not accurate, but the challenges can be sensations and not threats, right? Like you could see growth as something that's hard and evolving is hard, but good and like exciting and adventurous, kind of like the way Alice in Wonderland seems to navigate.
Yeah, absolutely.
Wonderland, where she's challenged, but she's going through
Yeah, I think like, like all the things you said are very true. I mean, like, it's always like, like it may seem easy, but it actually is in reality hard. And I know it's hard to like, accept that. But sometimes like, like maybe like it might be easy to someone else, but then for you it might be hard because you've never done it before. But I think, yeah, it's just varies from person to person.
Totally. And there are some things we learn when we're younger that are like, we're taught some way to see the world, and then there are other things we learn by experience, right? And it's always such a balance of trying to like learn all that information and also trying to like get it from a mentor or a podcast or a book or all those places.
Yeah. So like, I mean, like everything is like, in its own ways like, put together. My last and final question for you is, if you could create a movie about your life, who would be the lead character playing you?
That's such a lovely question. Let me think about it for a second. Well, I think it's very relevant for me to say Maya Hawke, because she's a little bit younger than me. I guess we don't really look alike, but she has this curious personality. She wrote the foreword for my new book Bravey, and I think she is like determined and vulnerable and flawed and strong in equal parts, and would be such a wonderful person to act in that role.
Yeah, that sounds amazing. Thank you so much for taking out the time to like, be on the show and talk about, everything that you do. And I had lots of fun, talking about all of this. Yeah.
Thank you so much. And I can't wait to share Bravey with you. There's a lot of Bay Area references, of course, because that's where I grew up. And I hope you keep the dream that you have. It's a singer-songwriter dream, right? Right now. And I hope you find is that you want for yourself. And also the things that you don't know now, right?
Absolutely.
The beautiful unknown.
Thank you so much. Do you have like any place that people can find you online?
Yeah, people can find me on Instagram, and my name is just Alexi Pappas, ALEXIPAPPAS.
Perfect. So everyone who's listening to this episode, I'll put all the notes in the show notes, and you can have the links and what we talked about to get an idea of what this episode is about. Thank you so much, and this is the end of the episode. See you all have another interview with a special guest. So stay tuned for that. Thank you so much, everyone, and have a great day.